Tech, can you help everyone unmute? And please, can we give a big welcome to Michael? Guys, give him a round of applause, guys.
Whoa! Oh, awesome.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much, Vincent. You did an amazing job being host. So, hi, guys. My name is Michael, but please call me Mikey. That's what my friends call me. So every time I feel like someone calls me Michael, I feel like I'm in trouble. But just to kind of lighten up the mood, welcome. I just want to congratulate all the people who rose their hands, like Maya. And no, is it On? Is that how you pronounce your name? On.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, perfect. And then I have Tin, and then Kevin, and then I see a new person. Is it Madhu?
Yeah, Madhu.
Nice to meet you, Madhu. So I know. So the host kind of briefly asked the three participants to kind of introduce yourself. So if you can also introduce yourself to a little bit, where you're from and who invited you this evening.
Yeah. So my name is Madhu Antha, but you can call me Madhu. And right now, I'm actually from Sri Lanka.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so I'm an international student in Toronto right now, and I study in Humber College, and I study business administration. It's a advanced diploma, and yeah, so I'm pretty interested in like business, as you can see, because I take business.
Yeah.
So I hope to learn more.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations on making it this far through the selection process. I do want to let you guys know that not that many people are qualified to get to this point. So again, congratulations. So, at this point of the process, we are halfway through. So today I'm going to be kind of going over a business opportunity that the person who has been kind of talking to about over the past maybe 2 to 3 meetings and stuff like that. Before we get started, I kind of just want to kind of get to know you guys a little bit more. I try to make it a little bit fun and interactive and stuff like that. I love getting to know people. But if I can start with Maya, I know you mentioned that you're originally from, was it Vancouver, correct? Vancouver?
Yeah, Vancouver.
Awesome. What do you hope to gain from tonight's meeting?
I guess I mostly want to learn more about different ways of doing business, different ways of earning income, things like that.
Awesome. And what are you studying again?
I'm studying psychology.
Oh, psychology. Awesome. I wish I graduated from Cal State Fullerton, and I remember taking one psychology class, and I absolutely loved the class so much, just understanding how people think and why people do certain things. So that's awesome. So, with you studying psychology right now, I guess what I can ask is, what keeps you open?
Yeah, I feel like as a passion, psychology is something that I like to learn and like pursue, but I feel like it doesn't mean that I'm not also interested in business and like financial side of things. So I feel like being financially independent is also important outside of having a career in psychology.
Awesome. I like it. Good answer. Can I have Tin or Kevin? I also heard that you were studying graphic design, because that's also something that I pursued back when I was in college too. So tell me a little bit more about yourself, and what are you hoping to gain out of this meeting tonight? And with graphic design and business, those are kind of like totally two opposite sides of the spectrum. What keeps you open to different opportunities for yourself?
Because the graphic design is not need for today, so that's why I'm looking for some the new one. I just want like learn some more about the network marketing.
Awesome.
So I know how to say.
No worries. We'll go back to it. So yeah. But thank you for your answer. So can I have On? Can you go ahead and unmute yourself? And you can say On. You can say unmuted. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi.
Yes. Hi. Yeah. So what brings you here tonight? What are you hoping to get out of this meeting? And why are you open to different opportunities for yourself right now?
So at the moment, I'm 19 years old and I'm still like learning on my education. And at the moment, I'm still learning ESL. So next semester, I'm gonna study pharmacy. My previous major back in Vietnam is digital artist, and I find out that maybe digital art is kind of risky nowadays. So I choose my major at the moment is pharmacy, but this major also risky because like you guys know that every major on all of them are risky.
Yeah.
So I wanna like have an independent passive income that I can be like the I can I can control it. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So
Yeah.
you want more control over time, more control of income and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
Awesome. And yeah, I can definitely kind of agree with you on that. If you kind of just been following what's been happening a lot recently with a lot of these big tech companies, companies like Amazon, Facebook, and stuff like that, even Twitter, they've been laying off thousands and thousands of people, right? And it kind of just proved how much the pandemic affected everybody, right? And it kind of helped me realize that there's no such thing as job security anymore now these days. It's even working for the government. So as the speaker, or sorry, not the speaker, the host, I mean, as the host mentioned before, I do currently work for the city of Fullerton, so I do work for the government. And interesting story. So back in 2020, right before the pandemic happened, or exactly when it happened, I got hired to work as a permit technician. And about 3 to 4 months into working my full-time job, our city manager at the time sent out an email to all the different departments stating that, due to finances and due to pandemic, we're going to have to let go of a few people, right? And growing up, I've been told that working for the government is very safe, right? You have 401k, pension, and stuff like that. But then receiving that email did alert me a lot. And then at that point, I understood, once because I was a new hire, and because I just started my new job, most likely the newer people are going to get laid off or get fired. So I got very scared. I got very worried. I just got hired for my job, and next thing you know, I'm about to get fired from my job, right? But fortunately enough, I was one of the people that was able to keep the job. But then at that moment, I realized that if I don't do anything else outside of my current career path, I might and one day like another recession happens or another pandemic happens, I may fall victim to losing my main one source of income, if you know what I mean, right? So awesome. Madhu, go ahead and I know you can unmute yourself again too, and then what do you hope to gain out of this meeting, and what keeps you open to different opportunities?
Yeah, so for me, basically, it's like, so I really like business. I've been studying business since like high school, and that was the major that I actually followed through. And so one of the biggest thing I want to learn is like how to spend money, right? So like even when in a business, right, in like when you gain capital and stuff, like how do you use that capital to grow more and more?
Got it.
So
Okay.
that's kind of the perspective that I like mainly want to study right now.
Okay, you're an investor, so you have that investing mindset. Okay, good. I like it. Awesome. So thank you guys for sharing your little bit about yourself. So just a little bit about me before we kind of move forward with the presentations this evening. So so just a little bit about myself. I'm from Anaheim, California, about like 10 to 15 minutes away from Disneyland. And I went to college back at Cal State Fullerton, studied majored in graphic design. And I would like to say at that point, graphic design was something I was very passionate about, something I saw myself pursuing for the rest of my life. But I remember during my junior year of college, I remember working on a final project or midterm, and kind of just taking a quick break and kind of looking at my professor, watching my classmates and stuff too. I started to really question what I was doing. I'm not sure why, but I just started questioning what I was doing. And I started to ask myself, do I really want to be doing this for the next 40 to 50 years of my life? And not graphic design per se, but more so a 9 to 5 job. Now, I'm not trying to put down 9 to 5 jobs. Please keep your 9 to 5 job if it's something that you really like to do, because you obviously have to pay for bills. But just kind of growing up, I saw my parents kind of struggling. My mom was a valedictorian. My dad got his bachelor's too from college. But kind of just seeing how they lived their life throughout the years, I still saw them struggle financially. And at a very young age, I kind of realized that if I kind of followed into the same footsteps as they did, I may end up in the same position, still struggling financially, not having enough money. I would always see my parents kind of argue over this thing called money. And again, keep in mind, I'm a small kid, so I don't know what this concept of money is. But then as I kind of got older, I soon realized how important money was, right? And then after a while, I got my degree, I graduated from Cal State Fullerton, and to be honest, I started thinking a lot about to myself and asking, is graphic design something that I want to do for the rest of my life? And so that's when I kind of just started looking for more opportunities for myself. So to restaurants, I even got my NASM certification, so I'm also a certified personal trainer as well. But I soon realized that all of these, I guess, vehicles that I've been kind of choosing would still kind of come back, and I would always ask my question, is this something that's right for me, right? And I don't know about you guys, but the whole question of what do you want to be when you grow up, right? I'm sure everyone has heard that question before. Like, Maya, have you heard that question? Like, what do you want to be when you grow up? How, when your parents asked you that question, or even when your family asked you that question, how confident were you in answering that question? Like, Maya, what would you like to be when you grow up?
I think I listed like 10 different things.
10 different things. Oh, one word, name me 2 different things.
I think I said like, oh, actress, author.
Actress.
I don't know why. I really want to be a waitress. I want to be like a teacher. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Interesting, right? So for me, if you asked me when I was 17 or 18 years old, what I want to be when I grow up, I would have honestly responded, what do I want to be? I don't even know what I want to eat for dinner tonight. I don't even know what I want to wear tomorrow for school, right? And to be honest with you, I felt like that was such a very broad question to ask. What do you want to be when you grow up? And the reason why I say that is because as a 17 or 18-year-old, we don't have that much experience into the workforce. We haven't met enough people. We haven't gone through enough. We haven't done enough to see what we actually want to pursue in life, right? So, and just about 3 to 4 years ago, that was when one of my friends actually introduced me to her business mentor. Her name is Q, by the way. So just a little bit about history about her. She used to work at Bank of America as the youngest relationship manager at the age of 19 years old. And with that, when I first met her, it was very intriguing and very interesting because she was when I had a great conversation with her about like business and seeking creating passive residual income, the way she spoke was very different from most of the 22-year-old individuals that I met at the time. And I remember asking my mentor at the time, or Q at the time, I was like, you used to work at a great financial institution. You're doing this. You started a business at a very young age, and you also were able to walk away from your career at the age of 22 years old. Now, for me at that time, I was around like 27 years old, and I asked Q, you're the only person that I personally know that is financially independent at such a young age. What do you do with your time? Right? Because the whole idea of financial independency and financial freedom was such a very unique, such a strange term for me back then. I didn't know anything about passive residual income. I didn't understand anything about assets. So I just generally wanted to ask, what do you do on a day-to-day basis? And she told me that she was, because she doesn't have a boss anymore, she gets to control her own schedule. She gets to control more of her time. She gets to control more of her income. And honestly, she was able to, and this is something that really correlated with me so much when I was having the conversation with her, is that because she no longer had a job anymore and that she was pretty much controlled her own time, she was able to become a full-time daughter to her parents. And I'm not sure about you guys, but I'm a very big family person, right? And when she mentioned that to me, I was like, what the heck is a full-time daughter? I've never heard of that before. Because I've heard of a full-time dad, I've heard of a full-time mom, but I've never heard of something called a full-time daughter, right? And as she was describing her day-to-day, it kind of opened up, I guess you can say, a vision in my head of what I actually wanted to do in the future and how I really wanted to live my life. And I really appreciate what my current mentor right now, she helped me answer that question of what I want to be. And it wasn't essentially to become a full-time CEO of a business, but to become a full-time DAD, and essentially a full-time dad to my future kids, a full-time son to my future parents. And I guess just fundamentally, my main goal with pursuing this kind of business was to reach financial independency so that, again, I can also have what she had to, right? So, and just over the past couple of years, thanks to the wisdom, expertise, and knowledge, they were able to help me generate a business revenue of $250,000, which we'll talk about later later throughout the presentation. And with everything going on right now, I've been able to control more of my finances, even pay back some of my parents for some with some bills and stuff like that too. So just having that financial flexibility at this age, especially while also working full time, has definitely helped a lot, especially with what's going on in the world, right? So awesome. So today, if I can get the next slide, please. So today's going to be a business overview, entrepreneurship of the 21st century. So so the person that's been walking through walking you through the process, so he probably has kind of I hope they've been kind of letting you know why we have a process. So just from my own perspective, why we have a process, think of it this as Maya, have you ever been to have you ever had a high school group project or college project, and there was like you and three other individuals, and you always had that one individual that didn't really do any of the work?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So, and that's something that we're Madhu's like, yes, absolutely, right. And that's something that we're trying to, I guess, prevent from happening, because so when it comes to business partnership, I don't know about you guys, but I believe that trust plays a big role when it comes to business partnership, right? Because you wouldn't want to just partner up with anybody, right? You would want to get to know who they are, what are their interests, what are their goals, what are their dreams, right? To see if you can kind of relate with them. And that's what the person is trying to evaluate from you too, right? So one of the things that we're trying to evaluate in a potential business partner is, can we start to build mutual trust and transparency between both of us, right? So some of the things that we're looking for is not essentially credentials per se, but more so your character, right? So some of the characteristics that we're looking for in a said individual is somebody who's very humble. I'm pretty sure you may have heard this or not, but somebody who's very humble, somebody who's very appreciative, smart, who has common sense, and somebody who is very hungry or has a high level of ambition. Because especially when it comes to business ownership and entrepreneurship, to be frank and to be honest with you, it does require a lot of ambition, right? Not that many people are able to make it through entrepreneurship because they lack that level of ambition, right? So one thing that my mentor at the time told me before, when I was personally going through the evaluation process, is that we're not looking resume, but you can also get fired for your character, right? I'm not sure. Have you ever thought of it that way too? And yes, you can fake your resume, but that another thing that you cannot fake is your character, who you are as an individual. So, and then kind of talking about common sense, right? This is a phrase that I always use, and I've been applying it to my life, is that common sense is not common among common people. So on Maya, Madhu, and Kevin, I hope you guys have a good sense of common sense, right? And this kind of ties into education, right? So we're looking for individuals that know how to make fact-based decision-making versus opinion-based decision-making, right? And it's kind of interesting now, the society that we live now these days, most of the information that we may get from our mom, parents, friends, and stuff like that are pretty much opinions, right? An example I like to use is McDonald's, right? Everybody knows about McDonald's, right? I'm not sure. When was the last time, Kevin, when was the last time you had McDonald's?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm sorry, say it again.
1 month ago.
Oh, a month ago. Madhu, when was the last time you had McDonald's?
Literally for lunch.
For lunch, right? Now, if you kind of look at Yelp, right, it's a social media app where we can kind of look at, the ratings of the certain restaurants and stuff like that. Typically speaking, in terms of ranking, where does it usually fall under? 1 star, 3 star, 5 star? Where does it usually rank? What would you say, Madhu?
Like McDonald's?
Yeah, the ranking, yeah.
So like again, is it like a personal, like
Yeah.
opinion wise, or like
Opinion wise, yeah. What would you rank? What would you rank McDonald's from, like a 1, 3, like 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, 5 star?
let's say like a 4-star maybe?
A 4 star. Okay, interesting, 4 star. Kevin, what about you? You're muted.
Negative.
Negative?
3 star.
3 star. Okay, and then what about you, Maya? A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 star?
Like two stars.
2 star. Okay, so we have Madhu as 4 star, we have Kevin as 3 stars, and we have Maya as 2 stars, right? So, right, again, a lot of people can kind of give their own opinions because everybody has their own preferences, right? But in my own personal opinion, down here in SoCal, if you kind of look on Yelp, it's about 2 to 3 stars, right? And I'm pretty sure I can find a better tasting burger at my local burger shop, right? But when it comes to business revenue wise, McDonald's is doing fantastic, right? It is the number one fast food franchise in the world. So if you asked me if McDonald's is a good place to go eat, I would probably say no in my own personal opinion. But if you also asked me, hey, Mikey, is McDonald's a good company to get into and start to and have create my own franchise? I would absolutely say yes, right? So again, there's going to be a difference between opinions versus facts and how to make business. And if you want to make a good business decision, you always want to look at the facts, right? Again, a lot of people may love Apple and a lot of people hate Apple. A lot of people love Samsung and a lot of people love Samsung and a lot of people hate Samsung, right? But in terms of the company wise and how it's doing, they're doing fantastic, right? So now, moving on forward here, building a case for yourself. So when I went through the evaluation process, there was about 12 individuals, and only three of us got selected, myself and two other individuals, right? And what the person who was I was walking through the process with, what they were looking for was integrity and accountability. You know, are you a person of honesty, and can we count on you just as you can count on us to help you, right? Here we have a core value of putting people first before profits, because does anybody work full time right now or anything? Anyone work full time or part time? At least full time, part time? No. You do? Okay. Maya, where do you work?
I work at the writing center on
Right.
campus.
Okay. Part time.
Part time.
Part time. And then what about you, Kevin?
I'm working in a boba shop.
A boba shop. Okay. Awesome. What boba shop are you working at right now?
This is boba, like a drink.
Do you know what's the name of the shop? Because I used to work at a boba shop too.
Mhm. So,
Do you know the name?
yes, the MC, that's a personal name.
Oh, okay, awesome, cool. So now, going back to this, right? If you kind of notice that especially when the pandemic happened and during the recession, a lot of these companies had to let go of a lot of their employees, right? Now, oftentimes we have this misconception that, you know, becoming an employee is the biggest asset to a company, right? But at the same time, it's also the biggest liability to the company, right? Because especially when it comes to running a business and when it comes to finances, right? Companies, what are their main focus is to save the company. So the first thing that has to kind of go are the employees, right? And what I liked about the organization and what I loved about the organization, the people that we surrounded ourselves with, is that they really value putting people first before before profits. And I kind of and as we help more people, the profits are the byproduct of what we do, right? Next is level of ambition, kind of very self-explanatory, and also decision process, right? We're looking for individuals that know how to make their own independent decisions, right? So, for example, what I mean by this, and this kind of also ties into the education aspect of it, or opinion aspect of it. So, I'm Filipino, and I come from a very typical Filipino household. And I'm sure if you guys heard that stereotype before, where if you're Filipino, you have to be you have to be a nurse, you're a dancer, or you're a singer, right? I'm not any of those. And I told my parents when I was kind of going through college, I told them that, you know, nursing is not something that I want to do. I don't want to go into the healthcare. I want to go into art. You know, just kind of letting my parents know what I want to do. And then after college, and I said, hey, you know what? I had a great crucial conversation with with my mom, and talking about business. I was like, hey, mom, I kind of want to start. I want to see if I can start my own business one day. My friend just introduced me to her friend who's very successful at what she does, and then, you know, kind of like learning what she's doing. And the first thing that she told me is like, I don't want you to do that. And I was like, why don't you want me to do that? And the reason why she was hesitant on me pursuing other things outside of my career path was because I had an aunt that actually ran a Filipino restaurant, and it was running for about a year or so. And then, but after that, I'm not sure what may have happened, but the restaurant, you know, collapsed. And I guess my parents did, or my mom specifically, didn't want me to kind of go through that whole um, like losing money, wasting time, and losing all of my resources. So I guess she was trying to protect me. But I told my mom, like, Mom, look, just because someone failed at something, that does not necessarily mean that I'm gonna fail at it, right? I need to give it a shot. I need to give it a try. So you know what I mean, right? So next is going to be the why. So I see a new person here, Ryan. Ryan, if you can go ahead and unmute yourself. Hello. If you can go ahead and unmute yourself and tell me a little bit about yourself and why are you here this evening?
Yeah. Hello, everybody. My name is Ryan Huey, and I'm a first year at UC Berkeley. I apologize for the noise. I'm in the hallway right now, but I just came out of class, and I'm really excited to learn more about the business. And I've been in the process for around 4 weeks now, and I'm part of the NorCal team. And yeah, I'm really excited to learn more and further understand the board plan process. I'll be hopefully leading the meetings for my candidacy.
Awesome, awesome. Well, welcome. So, can I get the next slide, please? Awesome. So the agenda today, guys, is we're gonna be going over the 4 ways of making money, asset development, the business plan, business training, and the compensation structure. We saved the money for last just to make sure that everybody stays awake. So, can I get the next slide, please? All right. So, for everybody here, does this look very familiar? The cash flow quadrant, ESBI, right? Right. Awesome. So just kind of quickly briefly go over this. So after reading, I'm sure everyone has been given a book called Business of the 21st Century by Robert Kiyosaki, right? And he kind of talks about how people in life have make money by inputting themselves into 4 different quadrants, right? Here we have ES, that stands for an employee. S, that stands for self-employed or small business. B stands for business owner or big business, and I, that stands for investor. So if I can ask On, if out of these 4 quadrants, where do you see yourself in the next couple of years?
Me?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, so in my point of view, I think that I will be an employee.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And where would you like to where would you like to be in the future? If you have
I would be to be like business owner.
business owner, okay. And why would you want to be a business owner?
So as you know, like if you the first thing that I need to do is employee, yeah. So I think after I have enough my saving, I will move to say employee, and but like as we learn that employee and self-employed that we will spend a lot of time to get the money,
Mhm.
but in contrast the business owner kind of different because we can like as you can see we can get people work for you so that you will get more more benefits.
Mhm.
I think, yeah.
Awesome, right? So let's kind of just dive into these 4 quadrants just a little bit, right? So here we have an employee. This is somebody who essentially works a job and works for a company, right? But as I feel kind of also look at it too. There's not that much flexibility when it comes to having time and making income as well, right? Usually people, society and our status quo tell us that in order for you to be quote unquote successful, is you have to go to school, get a bachelor's, and then work for a company right? But then you kind of also see some of these individuals get stuck in this thing called the rat race, right? So what is the rat race? Essentially working Monday through Friday, partying on the weekends, and doing the same thing over and over and over again. Or as Albert Einstein likes to call it, insanity. So I'm not sure about you guys, but I didn't want to live a life of insanity. I wanted to live a life of sanity. You know what I mean, right? Now, next is self-employed. Now, this is their core value here. These are individuals that essentially don't want to work for a boss, but be their own boss and run their own business. So you can kind of think of it as like a doctor or a lawyer running their own practice, or even just a small traditional mom and pop shop, right? But at the same time, in this kind of quadrant, if you really look at it, you don't really own the business owns you. It owns more of your time and it owns more of your resources, right? Now, if you kind of look on the left hand side, this is more active income, where you're trading time to get income. Next is going to be what we call passive residual income, right? So here you can generate passive residual income by either becoming an investor or as a business owner, right? Now the difference is, now when it comes to the business owner, what do? Is they leverage by building teams and leveraging systems, while the investor also here you have money work for you, money generating more money simply buying stocks and shares, right? So can I get to the next slide, please? Awesome. So talking about On was talking about like creating a biz or going into the business owner side of things, right? So if I can ask you, Maya, if you had a choice, right? If you were to choose to make a living or make a life, what would you like to do?
Make a life.
Make a life. And why would you want to make a life? Oh, can someone unmute her? Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Yeah, I'd make a life because you only live once, and I wouldn't want to spend all my time doing something that I would rather be doing something else.
I like how you brought that up because I actually read this quote before. It's either you can play now and pay later, or you can pay now and play later, right? You may have heard of this YOLO, right, where you only live once. It's not necessarily true. If you think about it, it's not necessarily true. It's instead of saying YOLO, it's not that you live once, or you live once, but you die once, but you live every single day. And the biggest question you want to ask yourself is, what are you doing every single day, right? With your time. So back then, how you would run a traditional business is through the industrial age model, where you work a job with their help build your boss's business asset, while you here you trade time to get a paycheck, and you take that paycheck and you go to a store like Target, Walmart, or Costco, and you help build their source asset as well, right? Now, if you kind of look at it though, in this kind of a scenario, right? Who's actually benefiting? You can notice that your job and their store, or like Target, Walmart, Costco, are actually benefiting from it, while you, as the employee, you can say, quote unquote, kind of just stay stuck. But now, if you want to learn how to make a life, you want to try to transition yourself and do something different by creating your own business, or creating your own asset, right? So here, so what we do in this opportunity is we learn how to create our own network, right? We all know how to have a social network, but one of the things that a lot of these big companies, like in the information age businesses, is that they learn how to monetize these kind of networks, right? So the industry that are part of is something called network marketing. Now, if you break down the word network marketing, it's interesting because it is something that we've been doing pretty much our whole lives. However, we've not been, I guess you can say, getting paid for it, right? So if you kind of break down what network marketing is, essentially is where we take a product and or service and we market it to our network, right? So just for example, who has my idea of Facebook? Facebook, right? So when it comes to Facebook, right? Let's just say you're into photography. This is going to be like an example that I'm talking about. Well, let's just say you're into photography and you see a Sony ad for Sony's new camera, and let's just say it costs around like $1,000, right? Let's just say you click on the ad, it takes you to their website, you purchase the camera, and you start taking pictures and you post it on your Instagram, right? And next thing you know, let's just say you have a friend of yours that likes the post, that comments on the post, and it's not very clean. Can you send me the link? So moving forward, you send your friend the link, and they kind of repeat the same process, just like what you did, right? So essentially, what did you just do? You pretty much marketed Sony's camera to your network, right? And now, why is building a network so important, especially now with the information age, right? If you look at it, Uber is the #1 transportation company in the world right now, but it doesn't own any cars or taxis. What does it own? It owns a network of people that have cars, right? Another example is Airbnb. Airbnb is the fastest hospitality industry in the world right now, but it doesn't own any homes, lands, or hotels. So how is it #1? It is #1 because it has created a large network of people, keynote network of people that have homes that leverage the Airbnb platform. Another example, talking about Instagram again. Instagram is the #1 photography company in the world right now, but it doesn't own any cameras. But how is it again #1? It is because it owns a large network of people that have cameras, right? And talking about liabilities versus assets, right? So Maya, did the person who was walking you through the process, did they kind of go over what the difference between liability and versus an asset is?
A little bit.
A little bit, right? Let's go. What is the liability versus an asset?
An asset is something that is benefiting you, and a liability is something that's a risk.
So if you pay attention to a lot of Robert Kiyosaki's book and how he defines asset, an asset is essentially something that puts money into your pocket, while a liability is something that takes money out of your pocket, right? So every time you go to, let's just say you go to Target, Walmart, or Costco to buy your things, right? The products that you just bought, those are considered liabilities, right? Because if you think about it, it's not putting money into your pocket, right? But with this opportunity, and we'll show you the manufacturers and different brands that we partner up with, right? It allows us to turn our liability products into asset-based products, right? So can I get the next slide, please? So here are some of the exclusive brands that we are affiliated with and have direct partnership with. Maya, have you ever seen any of these brands like Nutrilite, Access Energy? Where have you seen them before?
Like ads, or maybe someone uses them.
That's okay, awesome. And Madhu, do you recognize any of these brands?
Yeah, so one of the meetings I attended, like almost everyone was drinking something.
Yeah. You have to try it, it's very good. What about you, Kevin? Have you seen any of these brands before? Nutrilite, Access Energy?
No, I don't.
No? Okay, awesome. No worries. So here are some of the world-leading exclusive brands affiliated to business partners and customers, right? So one of the biggest brands that we have direct access to is something called Nutrilite. So Nutrilite happens to be the world's #1 selling vitamin and dietary supplement brand in the world. My uncle actually works here in the Buena Park facility, so he's been working here for the past 33 years now. So I've been kind of around it growing up. So I'm not I've been going around it my entire life. Next is another brand called Access Energy. It is the first exclusive sugar-free energy drink brand sold globally. Can I get the next slide, please? And so another couple brands that we have direct access to is something called Artistry. Can I get the next slide, please? Perfect, thank you. So Artistry. So Artistry is the world's only beauty brand collaborating with Nutrilite, and by using its plant-based vitamins and dietary supplements too. G&H is naturally inspired and thoughtfully made gentle and healthy bath and body care. Glycer happens to be our oral care, and Santinique happens to be our hair care products, right? So. And now the reason why we associate with these kind of products instead of like cell phones or computers or laptops, right? Because we live in a very big tech world. Let me ask you, Madhu, why do you think you leverage these kind of products instead of like phones or computers and stuff like that?
No, I didn't understand the question.
Why? We have. So when it comes to these products, why do you think we partner up with these brands instead of like maybe technology-based products like cell phones, computers? Because you can make a lot more money with cell phones and laptops and computers. You know what I mean? But why do you think we focus on these household necessity items instead?
Because maybe because it's more fast moving. Because like for example, if you buy like a phone or something, that's for long term. Whereas products you would be using on a continuous basis, like it will finish faster than a phone that you would use, right?
Yeah, exactly. So when was the last time you bought the phone that you currently have? When was the last time you actually bought a phone?
Like 2 years ago.
2 years ago, right? But if you kind of look at these kind of products on a monthly basis, how many people are kind of going to Target, Walmart, Costco every single day? Some people, right? So that's the reason why, because these are fast-consuming goods. These are products that people will buy on a month-to-month basis, right? Can I get the next slide? So some other couple things. So we have direct partnership. We also have water filters, air filters, cookware, and we also have something called Amway Home. So can I get the next slide too? So here, when it comes to us as independent business owners, we also have special offers and discounts from a lot of these Fortune 500 companies, right? And if you look at it, a lot of us here on the Zoom call, we're partnered up with Apple, Bank of America, Amazon, Disney, etc. Right? Let me ask you, Amaya, if you were to start your own business, what are the chances of you being able to partner up with these Fortune 500 different companies.
Thì tất nhiên là học ở đại học là
Very
mình
slow.
thấy
Very slow. What about you,
bây
Martin?
giờ kêu là chị
If
học
you were to
đại
start a
học
business.
kiểu áp
Yeah,
ABCD
most probably very same.
Probably 0.00 something, right? Now, now if you look at it though, right? These are big Fortune 500 companies, right? And and what we do is we want to see how we can leverage somebody else's credibility, right? And the manufacturer that we partner up with is called Amway. Can I get the next slide? Right. So here Amway, every single day someone launches their own independent business. They are entrepreneurs. Unlike many who set their own course, these entrepreneurs are powered up by $8.9 billion company, right? So these are the facts of Amway, right? This company has been around for years. Now, Maya, if you can ask, just by reading all these five, pick one which stands out to you the most. Bubbles, 5 circles. Which one stands out to you the most?
63.8 billion.
60. Okay. And why 63.8 billion? Is it just because of the number?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What about you, Madhu? Out of these five, what stands out to you the most?
Probably the 8.9 billion.
And why do you pick that? Or why do you pick that circle?
Because they made a global sales in 2021 of that launch. That's insane.
A lot, right? And if you think about it, back in 2020 and 2021, what were we going through? We were going through a pandemic.
Yeah.
And while most of these big companies were going to filing for bankruptcy, this company actually kept their sales up. Now, if you happen to go to the direct selling news, Amway has been number one for the past eight consecutive years in a row. So, when I first saw this, I didn't really second guess them. When I first saw this, I said, you know what? This company is doing billions and billions of dollars of sales. They're doing something right, right? So here, just to kind of go over this again, Amway has generated $8.9 billion in terms of global sales, $63.8 billion bonuses and incentives paid since 1959, more than any other direct sales company in history. It offers a 180-day or 6-month money-back guarantee to customers. It is also ranked a number 43 on Forbes magazine. So if you guys don't know, that is a very big deal. Next is and also Amway has a 900 plus patents too. And I'm not sure if you guys know what a patent is, but pretty much it's what's it called? What's it called? The patent is what's it called? A patent can come out to be a couple $1,000s and take a couple of years to develop just one patent, right? And it's pretty much like no other company can copy that. Right? Can I get the next slide, please? So why choose Amway? So why we kind of partner up with this manufacturer? It is the number one direct selling business in the world for the past 8 years in a row. It has a diverse product selection of around 350 plus products. It operates in all 50 states and over 100 countries and territories. And also we have something called the IBOAI, which is pretty much like our union that kind of protects our rights as business owners. Can I get the next slide, please? And now talking about and just talking a little bit about number one and why we choose number one. Let me ask you, Maya. What is the number one phone in the world right now?
Apple.
Apple. What's the number two phone in the world right now?
Samsung.
Who cares? What's the number one search engine in the world right now?
Who cares?
Who cares? Bingo, you got it. Awesome. So now talking about so we talked about the number one, right? This is the number one manufacturer. I also really want to play a big emphasis on the education system here, right? And why mentorship is such a huge deal, right? Does anybody here listen to rap music?
Yeah.
Ma, did you listen to rap? Does anybody listen to rap? No. Hip hop? Not much. Okay. So I grew up in the '90s, and one of my favorite rappers is Eminem. So I'm pretty sure everybody knows who Eminem is, right? So we can kind of look at how important mentorship can be for an individual. If you look at the history of Eminem and what he's been kind of going through over the past couple of years, Eminem would not have been as successful without the help and the guidance and mentorship of who? Dr. Dre, right? Everybody know who Dr. Dre is, right? So if you look at it, history a little bit about Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre used to be part of a group called NWA. Him with Eazy-E, Ice Cube, and 3 other individuals, right? They hit a lot of platinum records. disbanded, and Dr. Dre joined another group called Death Row Records with Ice Cube, hit a couple of platinum records. But and then if you kind of look at the credentials of Dr. Dre, not only was he a rapper, a songwriter, an artist, but he was also an entrepreneur. He was also a business owner, right? Where he started his own record label called Aftermath. And after a couple of years, he finds a young gentleman named Marshall Mathers, aka Eminem, aka 50 Cent, right? And with that being said, Eminem also, just like what Dr. Dre did to Eminem also duplicated everything that he's done and found another young gentleman named Curtis Johnson, or aka 50 Cent, right? You guys know who 50 Cent is? And so you can kind of see how the importance of mentorship can play, right? So BWW, or Brit Worldwide, is an Amway approved provider, empowers men and women to build successful independent businesses by providing education and mentorship through an association of successful business leaders across America. So what does this offer? Coaching and mentorship, mobile apps and web resources, business conferences, and streaming in audio and video, right? So can I get the next slide? So the business is very so once you start to understand the business, it is very simple, but it's not hard, right? Here, how simple is this business to understand? One is you shop, convert your buying power, share, develop customers and associates, and three, educate. Shop, share, and educate. We're available to yourself and others, right? Here, what does Amway provide? It provides us the business opportunity, the compensation program, products and fulfillment and education, training and business tools, and BWW offers the business tools training available, mentorship and coaching, business seminars, and apps and digital media. So, right? And can I get the next slide, please? So now, so here we're going to be talking about the compensation plan or the marketing plan. So who's excited to make some extra money? Maya, are you excited to make some extra money? Okay. So when it comes to the business opportunity, Amway has around 11 ways of making money. But today we're going to kind of just keep it very simple. Now, I don't expect you guys to understand this. So please, if you have questions, please go back to the person who invited you this evening and ask those follow-up questions, right? Because it did honestly took me a while to understand the business plan and marketing plan. So here, let's just say, so one thing I do want you guys to remember is something called PV and BV. So PV stands for point value and BV stands for business volume, or here in the United States, $3, right? So here, let's just say you and that other individual generate 150 PV or $450 of worth of business revenue that month, right? Just also keep in mind that the points do reset every single month. And the goal is to see, can you reach the top of the performance bonus bracket, which is the 7,500 PV or the 25%, right? So here, let's just say this month of March, you generate a business revenue of $450, and let's just say that $300 of that business revenue is actually sold to some customers. So here, the first way of making money is something where we can earn up to an 11% retail profit margin. We also are able to save 11% in terms of the products that we consume. So here, based off of this example, as you can kind of see, when you generate 150 points, and let's just say 100 of that goes to sales, you will earn a profit of $33.33. Now, we also have something called VCS, or verified customer sales, where when we sell to customers, we actually get an extra uplift on points, which moves us up from 150 to 161 points. Now, the second way of making money is called something called the performance bonus schedule, right? Here, just looking at the group PV that we have. So there's three kinds of PV. There's personal PV, group PV, and Ruby PV. So if you do have questions about those, go ahead and ask those questions to the person who invited you to this meeting. Now here, you have a group PV of 161 points. So when you kind of look at that and you look at the performance bonus schedule, the group PV will help dictate the percentage of how much money that you'll earn back from the company, right? So from 299 to 100 PV, you will get 3% back based off your total business revenue that you created, which is $450, meaning that Amway will send you a check of $13.50. There's another bonus called the customer sales incentive. Here, based off of this scenario, you earn an extra 7%, meaning that you'll get another $21. Now, if you add all of this together, you'll make a monthly income of $67.83. And you probably think to yourself, let me ask you, Maya, do you think $67.83 is enough as a lot to you?
I mean, it can be.
It can be, right? Especially if you live in California, the gas is very expensive over here, right? So now everything that that I'm showing to you right now is FTC or Federal Trade Commission approved, and this is what we can show to the public, right? Just by doing the minimums, right? So next, can I get the next slide, please? So now, talking about business and talking about scalability, right? When it comes to almost any business any business, you want to see how you can be a bit more profitable and how you can also scale your business, right? Again, the reason why McDonald's is so successful in what they do is not because they have the best food service or every broken ice cream machine every time you go there, right? But in terms of the having the scalability and having multiple locations globally, right? So here you start to scale your business and you start to grow your own business network and select 6 individuals that you want to partner up with, right? So again, you're not here to convince anybody about the business opportunity, but you're here to select an individual that also wants to build a business for themselves, right? So now here, you teach 6 other individuals exactly what you did last month so that they also can earn an extra $67, right? So here, if you look at it, and what I love about this business opportunity, everything is based on your own performance, right? So here, let's just say this is here, if you notice, your own personal performance is still the same of 150 points, so you still earn that $33.33. However, the business volume that you and your network has generated has increased a lot. Now here you have a group PV of 1128, and with that being said, and you want to determine what your performance bonus schedule is, you will want to look at the schedule right here, and you are above 1000 PV but also below 1500 points, meaning that Amway will give you that 12% return based off of your entire business that you and your network has developed, which is send you guys a check of $378. Now, do you keep all of that money? No, you do not. No, you do not. Amway pays out all of the blue circles out first, and you keep $330.33. Now, based on the structure and based on the network that you create, you can potentially also earn something called a bronze foundation incentive, meaning you can also earn an extra 30% on top of the $330.33, meaning you can potentially earn an extra $89.10. Can I get the next slide, please? Now, as your network starts to expand and in different locations, right, you can start to earn more profit by you helping other people and teaching them how to do the same thing. Now, here, based on this scenario, because you're still doing 150 points, you're still making a retail profit of $33.33. But however, again, your network has expanded a lot further, and more revenue is being generated. The company will start to compensate you back even more. So here you have a group PV of 4,028 points. Based on the performance bonus schedule, you will earn a 20% return based off your business revenue, meaning that Amway will send you guys quote unquote a check of $2,362.50. Again, amount paid out is $972. Subtract all of that, and you keep a monthly bonus of essentially $1,400. Mario, if I were to ask you, what would you do with an extra $1,400 on top of what you're currently doing?
What would I do with the money? Me, I'll probably invest it again.
Okay. What about you, Maya? What would you do with an extra $1,400 passively?
I think I would invest it, save it, spend it.
Save it, spend it. Okay, awesome. Right. Can I get the next slide, please? And finally, as you reach the top of the performance bonus schedule, here, can I get next slide, please? Thank you. So as you reach the top of the performance bonus schedule, you can potentially make an extra monthly income of around $3,000, right? So if you look at the top right-hand corner, so for individuals, when you're able to maintain this type of business revenue of $250,000, that puts you allows you to qualify for an additional annual incentive of up to $18,000, and including all expenses paid invitational trips to exclusive resorts and destinations. Last year, Amway took individuals who qualify for this bonus to New Orleans, and this upcoming year in November, they're going to be taking individuals to Las Vegas. And the next following year of 2024, Amway will actually rent out all of Disney World for its IBO. So if you guys like, I saw my her face right now, but yeah, so I'm super excited to qualify for that trip. You'll be able to take your mom, dad, your siblings all for free. They'll take care of the flight ticket for you. They'll take care of the hotel ticket for you, and hotel price for you, and everything like that. So can I get the next slide, please? Right. So another bonus that you can potentially earn is something called the leadership bonus. As you reach the top of the performance bonus bracket and you help other individuals too, you can potentially earn an extra 6% of 1350 per month per business for every couple or individual that you help. Right. So let's just say this is you, Maya, and can you name me somebody who is very ambitious, business minded that you know that may want to do business as well, or even looking for extra money?
Someone that I know, like
Yeah, personally know. Yeah.
maybe my brother.
Brother? Okay, awesome. Let's just say you walk your brother through the selection process. He's really excited about the opportunity. He's really open-minded about making some extra income, and you teach him how to make around $2,800 to $3,000 of passive income. Do you think he's gonna want to stop making that extra money? And why not?
He likes money.
Okay, perfect. Right, easy answer, right? Now, what did you just do? So, for example, what do I mean by this? If you were to teach your brother how to fish, do you think you have to teach your brother how to fish again?
No.
No, right? So what did you just do? You started to create an asset for yourself. Right? So here, when you help two individuals reach the top of the performance bonus bracket, you get 6%. When you help 3 individuals or couples, you get 6%. And when you help 6 individuals, you get 6%. Now, can you stop? Is 6 the max that you can make? No, you can help 7 people, 8 people, 9 people, 10 people, however many people that you like to help. Amway will reward you, right? So, can I get the next slide, please? And so next is what I like, again, what I mentioned earlier before, but what I love about the opportunity, it is a performance-based income, right? So no matter where you are in terms of the line of sponsorship or LOS, the person who does the most and puts more effort into building their business will earn the most, right? So let's just say Maya, you're A, Madhu, you're B, and then I'm C. Who, out of this scenario, who do you think is making the most money, Maya? A, B, or C?
A, or maybe all the same.
Okay. And what do you think, Madhu?
I think it's A.
And why do you think it's A?
Because I'm pretty sure she should get like half of everything that I make as well. So
I also thought the same way too when I first saw this, but actually the C actually makes the most money, right? Because if you look back at the previous page, right, here the Founders Platinum helps 1 individual, and so they get 6%. The B, the Founders Emerald, helps 3 individuals, so they get 6%. And then C at the very bottom helps 6 individuals, so they get 6%. So as I previously mentioned before, everything is performance-based and not position-based. Because if you look at the corporate structure, the person at the top, like the CEO, makes all the money, or at the very bottom, it's going to be the employees, right? So again, this is what I like to say is that this is an equal opportunity to become unequal, to make extra money. Can I get the next slide? Now here, as I mentioned before, when you reach certain bonuses and incentives and recognition, Amway will take you on certain trips like Orlando, Arizona, Hawaii, Achievers, and New Orleans. Can I get the next slide? And so now, most of the time, sometimes what I get when I'm working with somebody is, okay, what's the catch? There is no catch. All we're looking for somebody is, do you have the ability to honor a partnership? So what we're looking for in an individual is, 1, do you have a desire to learn and grow? Do you have an integrity and accountability? Do you know how to make fact-based decision making? Do you hold strong values and a positive attitude? And do you have a willingness to accept mentorship? Let me ask you, Madhu. Do you have a desire to learn and grow?
oh yeah, definitely.
Do you hold integrity and accountability?
I would like to think so.
I hope so. Do you know how to make fact-based decision making?
Yeah.
And do you hold strong values and a positive attitude?
Again, I hope so. Yes.
I hope so too. And I think this is the most important part. Do you have a willingness to accept coaching and mentorship?
Yeah.
Perfect. So can I get the next slide? and just starting to wrap up. So what are your next following steps? So go ahead and schedule a follow-up meeting. They're going to go in more depth of the numbers again and kind of answer all of your questions. Study the review material shared with you. Some and the people are going to share you some podcasts and maybe another book. Podcasts of people who have made the business work for them. Start to identify some of the values and goals. What is it that you want from this business, right? Because one thing I realized is that a lot of people, the how and the what is great, but it won't last that long if you don't understand the why, right? If you don't understand why you're doing what you're doing. And finally, number 4, keep continuing building the case for yourself through the process. So that's pretty much it from me. So I just want to say on Maya, Madhu, and Kevin, you've been a great audience. So and I hope and I wish you good luck through the process and keep continuing building a case for yourself. So back to those.
Lúc đó tôi cùng hai
Wow, wow, wow. Okay, guys, unmute. Let's give Michael a round of applause, everyone. All right, awesome. Thank you, Tech, for sharing more details about Amway. Guys, if you guys remember the part where Mikey shared about the compensation, right? There's a part there, if you guys remember, it's called Bronze, right? And that's the new program that Amway released. And I actually want to bring up some of the, growing leaders, right? Can we get some of the growing leaders to raise your hand, right? And Tech, can you please spotlight them? But before, while we're waiting for that, I just want to share my appreciation for Mikey and, some of the things I took away. The thing that he said in the beginning, which hit me, which is you get hired for your resume, but you get fired because of your character. And for me, is I had to go through that experience. Even though I graduated from a good university, I still had to experience getting laid off 2-3 times, not just many companies, but from these engineering companies that hired me because of pandemic, because of the company wasn't making profit. So even, I was I had a good resume. I was still let go because of things outside of my control. Right. But yeah, I just appreciate Mikey for sharing it and just giving this, sharing this opportunity, especially the BWW system, which exemplifies, that whoever you are, wherever you come from, right? It's your character, it's where you're going in life that determines your success. Yeah. Can we get some of the growing leaders too? All right. I guess I see we have Quincy Tran on the stage, right? Okay, anyways, can you guys go ahead, share a bit about yourself, background, and yeah.
Hello, everyone. So my name is Quincy Tran. Could you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, hello everyone. So my name is Quincy Tran. I'm actually in Toronto with the whole team right here. Yeah, I have a background in computer science and business administration. I'm very appreciate to have a very phenomenal presentation from Mikey, and yeah.
Awesome. I see we have NorCal. NorCal. Yeah, we hear you. It's very faint.
Hello. Can you guys
Yeah.
my name is Sean, and I'm all the way from North Cal with all the team here. Yeah. It's our honor to have Michael come and show the phenomenal roleplay. So my background is in business management, and good luck with all the candidates in the next step.
All right. Thank you, Quan. And we have SoCal HQ.
Katie, I have background in finance and accounting all the way from SoCal. So thank you, Michael, so much for doing amazing.
All right. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Those are the growing leaders, guys. Amazing. Give them a round of applause. Can we also bring up the platinums and up, right, in this call? All right, guys, you guys remember there were the different pin levels, right? There was platinum, there was emerald, there was diamond. We have the privilege. Oh, wait, we have more. Sorry. I went ahead. Okay, go ahead, Sasha.
Hello, my name is background in chemistry and math, but I also represent my coach, Mia, who's also have a background in business owner. Right. Good luck to all the candidates in the process, and it is a blessing. It is a chance, to learn more of options in life. Okay, in life. Okay, so check back with whoever walk you through the process for more information.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Thank you. All right, guys. Now I want to bring up, guys, the platinums and up, right, in this call. Okay. So I got just for the sake, just a limited time. Can we have the platinums and up? Can we spotlight them and have them share one line, one line of advice that can help our candidates, the first timers in the call? All right. I think we have some platinums in here. Can we spotlight them? All right, we got Jessica. All right. Hello, Jessica.
Hello, team. An awesome host of Vincent. My name is Jessica. I'm from LA, California. I have a background in global supply chains to all the new candidates in the process. Just a few years back then, I was just right on your seat. So I was a college student and I didn't really know what I'm going to do in life, but it's just because of the workshop that I attended and I met a person who introduced me to business. And it's just totally different from my family business because we have to figure out everything to do with our business. But when I come into this new industry, everything is just so different, and we are so fortunate to have the mentorship program with our coach and mentor who guiding us and teach us how to run successful business. But at that time, because of the concept of the business was so new, so I got against by my family and friends. They all told me that this is not gonna work. But you know what? Because I went to the meeting, I talked to those successful people, and I met them. I took, the picture with them. I shook hands with them. So I believe that, even though they are strangers, but they have the lifestyle, and they are just so different from my family. They have what I want to have. But my parents, my friends, even though we are so close, and I know they love me, but they just don't have what I want to have. So that's why I decided to give myself a chance, right? Listen to a stranger. Because of that, that's why I have the business that growing today. And tonight is just beginning. So with all the candidates in the process, I highly recommend you to, get back to the person who invited you here tonight and get all the question answers. Ask them for more materials so then you can make the right decision for yourself. And with that, good luck to all the candidates. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Jessica. All right.
Awesome.
We have Jeff and Stella next.
Hello, guys.
Can you guys hear us?
Yes, we hear you guys.
Awesome. Okay, thank you. We are here with the whole NorCal people in here. So thank you, Michael, again for your time and your presentation today. That was amazing. And this is Jeffrey and Stella. We're in San Jose, California. And I was in your shoes before, guys, like one of the first timer today, and just come to, this country. Everything is very new to me. And in my mind, it's just one clear things that I want to do something better because I already moved to, another country. And I know that some people, whoever you born in here, I hope that you can make, your country proud of you as well and your parents proud of you as well. Yeah. And then that's why that because of I thought about that. So I was a normal student, but of course that I am aware I cannot just depend on my degree, to wish that I have the fulfilled life, the wealthy life. So lucky that's why that, I found this opportunity business. And yet was me and Jeff, we're gonna have the plan to retire ourselves soon and pay back for whoever that we love.
Yeah. Hey guys, this is Jeff here, and just want to share I started a business when I was still a student. I was studying engineering at San Jose State University, and after I finished school, I started to work in tech for a few years. And what it takes to build a team and whatnot, I've been able to transition careers as well into like leasing and property management. And I'm just excited to know that not only do I can count on this opportunity, but I can grow in my life as well. And I started to see that this opportunity was giving me more in my life, not just about making money, but to see values as well. Because when I first walked into a room like this, I know some of us are on Zoom, but I walked into a hotel meeting and I got to see people who are from all different backgrounds, doctor, lawyers, engineers, people who won some Nobel Prize nominees. Some people were athletes in like the NFL, and they were all excited about building something for their future. And I remember just walking in like this tiny little, Asian kid, introvert, and I went up to people, and there was someone who was 30 years old, engineering, and just shook my hand as if he treated me and respected me as a man, And I just saw that people here don't judge about your color, race, ethnicity, faith, orientation. It doesn't matter. If you have a dream and you're serious about pursuing it, then you can turn this opportunity into a way to become financially free and to take care of your family. And so I got excited about the values that were behind this opportunity, and that this business is a lot more than just about selling products, but it's about changing people's lives and using something that we have in our hands to make the world a better place. And so I hope you take this business seriously. Get some more information and give it back to Vincent.
All right, awesome. Okay, I'll also should share a quick few liners as well, right, guys? It's weird, I'm bringing myself up, but yeah, guys, again, this is Vincent, and I just want to share, if you guys are first timers, right, the next thing, the immediate thing you should do is text the person that invited you and ask, what are the next steps? Right? If you're serious, if you see after what Mikey presented today that this is something that aligns with you, and of course there's a lot more information to go through, right? This is only step 3, 4 for some people. There's a lot more in store for everyone, right? But if you're serious, I recommend asking them, what are our next materials? What are the next steps? What do I have to do to really earn that mentorship? Because what I saw in here is I wasn't qualifying for a business opportunity. I was qualifying for a mentorship opportunity, because everyone can start their own business, right? You can start your own Amazon business, you can start your own, real estate, shoe business, but what's the missing piece? What's the missing sauce is mentorship. Because what I saw here, I saw there were a lot of, men and women, parents, couples, and even individuals like me, individuals like Mikey, who graduated from, universities, from colleges, who's able to start something for themselves. And I thought no one in my group, in my friend group at least, was able to do something like that. So that it just, it took me over, it just hit me with the reality that I can start something, even though I'm still young, still in my early 20s, and I don't have, to put down and invest a lot. And right now, since we're still young, guys, we don't have a lot of responsibilities. I mean, how many people on this call already have families and kids? Not yet, right? At least I hope not, right? So we can still make, mistakes. We can still learn from our failures, right? So, take that opportunity, get back to your processor and ask, what are the next steps, right? How can I qualify for this? But okay, guys, I have an amazing special speaker that I want to bring up, right, guys? If you guys haven't met this individual yet, well, I'm just very privileged to bring up the person mentoring me and a majority of people on the Zoom call as well, right, guys? So, Tech, can you spotlight Mr. Phil Lee and everyone? Can you guys all unmute and please give our mentor a big round of applause?
Thank you, everybody.
Let's go.
I was expecting some music, but thank you. I really envy Mikey. Mikey, you're such a good speaker. Everybody give Mikey another rousing applause. I'm not the spotlight for tonight. It's Mikey, aka Michael. That's how I call my good friend Mikey. Thank you for being here. Wow, I mean, you really make me hopeful again. Because this is never once before. I feel so hopeful, so excited about the journey coming um, to success, the way that you describe and you portray success. Love to hear from you. Thank you so much. Those of you guys, the first time I've seen a couple new faces, Daniel, Taylor, Sima, welcome. Good to have you guys here. Congratulations for making it far in the selection process. Give you a little bit background. When I saw this opportunity, I was just walking in. I was a little bit skeptical. College students, I was doing okay in school, 4.0 GPA. So I was admitted to top university here, UC Berkeley in California. And so I was doing okay. Graduated in finance and accounting. So life, it's just the same way how our parents always talk about. You get a job and you get a degree, you get a job, and your life is set. So that was exactly what I did. I following that path and continued to pursue that path. And little did I know that, I didn't hate my job. Pretty sure how Mikey, when I met Mikey about 5 years ago, remember 4 years, I think about 3 to 4 years, right, Mikey? Four years, about 4 years. He was doing okay. He was one good looking sharp guys. But little did we know, and then there's always that hopelessness because we make the money, but we don't make the difference. We don't have that choice, that control in our life. There's no light at the end of the tunnel because we are gonna continue to go to a job place and work hard, but we're gonna work so hard to own nothing. And what are we gonna do with the same thing for 45 years? Now, not to put it down, but where are all the cool food and cool places and great cars and great people and the choice to wake up whenever you want to wake up, and you're going to work so hard for something that you never own. And so I told myself that there got to be something out there because it's really missing because we're so busy making a living, we'll forget to make a life. um and I don't have any problem with my boss, not at my job, but the economy recession happen every 10 to 15 years, and I don't want someone else to have a remote control of my financial sufficiency. And so that was when I realized that there got to be a plan B, because even a car had a spare tire. Why don't you have a spare income? It's ridiculous to put all your eggs in one basket. So those of you guys are sharp, I applaud you for whatever you do academically. But here's the bad news. You won't have any control with the security of your source of income. If you're not being a boss of your life, if you're not taking control of your time and money. And so that was when I realized that there had to be another opportunity out there. And I was come across this couple by the name of Ali and Maka. So they came as a refugee, come to this country with $20 and from Somalia. And they were willing to put me under their wings and guide and coach me and teach me how to build financial success and build that asset. So I stopped sacrificing my entire life for someone else's business, someone else's dream. He taught me that you don't build your own dream. Someone else is going to hire you to build their dream. And so, and there are a couple of objections I gave to him, which I regretted. But I talked to him. It is something to do with finance because that's the only thing that I'm interested. And he shut me down by saying, "Well, the only time that we're talking about interest is when we have options. The only time we'll talk about interest is when we have options. Because do not forget how many people graduated at graphic design and they ended up working as an accountant. However, you bring the food the food on the table, the however you make the ends meet, didn't matter how you're gonna get it done. And so, and I start analyzing the business, and then I realized that I'm missing a few zero in my bank account, because in order for you to analyze a $1 billion company, you need some experience. You need to have some money. Doing research takes millions of dollars. And the company that we partnering with, Amway, has had multiple patents. One patent is equivalent to millions of dollars. Company has been out there for over 60 years, and the only company that out there for over 60 years is Microsoft and also Apple. There are very few companies that stand through thick and thin and and can be economy recession bulletproof for that long, COVID proofed, um, artificial intelligence proofed, outsourcing proofed. See, so this is the only time that I realized that I'm not the authority on this subject, because came from the student background, and I've never once doing anything. The only thing about financial independence I've ever known, it's just getting a job. And so once you realize that, you can't be skeptical when you're broke. And then I give myself a few more chances to continue to dig deeper. I mean, what to lose? Um, you know, I don't have anything for them to try to get to scam. So I'm coming through the selection process. So then it's nothing to lose. So I highly encourage you guys to continue to get more information, because there's a difference between close-minded and being skeptical. Close-minded people are, I don't like this, I do not need clarification. But a skeptical person, a skeptic, is somebody who requires more information. I don't want to call a shot for something that crucial to my life for the next 60 to 50 years without having sufficient information, adequate information. So I highly encourage you to get some more information. People talk about terms like pyramid scheme, um, you know, scam, um, like getting rich quick kind of thing. I've heard all of that terms, but most of the time people cannot even define what that is. They heard things on the internet, and mistake is worse than regret, because I want to like get more information and see if because it's that one thing, that one Asian guy that been continuing to travel around the world for years, and one day you realize that you get stuck at the same place, because 40 years ago you could have done something, you would have done something, you should have done something, you wish you could. See, so I hope that you guys get information, get educated, get more material, and move forward. I mean, you still have the choice to not continue at the very final step of the process, right? It's how you evaluate us, and we also evaluate you. So we hope you make a good decision and move forward. It's worth building the business. In my humble opinion, this is the coolest business of the 21st century. I walked away from my job the same way my mentor did when I was 21. Within about 3 years later, I helped my mom and my dad fully replace their full-time income. It's great to never wake up to alarm clock for the past 9 to 10 years, operating $1 million business on just at my fingertips, on the phone, in my convenience of my room, travel around, to places and get to see different cool people. It's probably one of the coolest thing you could ever do for yourself and your family, because everybody can make money, but can you make the difference? Can you leave a legacy behind? Can you help other people to live life the way you live? Success, how many people are better off because you live? It's the impact, it's the legacy, it's the health, it's the choices you can give to your parents. It's the ability to customize your fight so that you can customize your life. The ability to have 6 Saturday and 1 Sunday. It's the ability to associate with a good, positive environment and positively making an impact on other people's life. So I hope that, I mean, and I totally agree that entrepreneurship wouldn't be made for everybody. This is totally might not be for you. And we're not looking for an opinion, because we have been doing this for over a decade and we know what we do. So we're not looking for an opinion, but we're looking for talent. We're looking for commitment. We're looking for people that are excited about financial freedom and being part of a bigger cause and being able to make an impact on people's lives, because there are so many people out there are lost, misdirected, and America needs some healing. And we believe that we can be the positive impact to people's life out there through the book, the audio, the BWW mentorship program. Vincent, can I get the slide? We're excited about coming over this weekend to see one of the top leader in network marketing. It's also known as Kumar and Anjali. These are our mega mentor. They have helped over millions of people around the world to successfully build financial independence and create the financial choices for themselves. Can I get the slide? Yep. So this weekend, we're excited about to hear from somebody who, funny thing is, he came from a music background, but he realized that his job, his hobby, will not be able to feed his family. But if he's able to create something that to give him more financial choices, then later that will feed his hobby. So he became a successful multimillionaire in this industry. So then today he can actually practice and enjoy music and be a singer and having his own musician band and being able to travel and perform here and there. So it's very interesting speaker. I mean, you never get tired hearing from him. So it's a perfect opportunity for you to check it out, get a bigger pictures and get that magnitude of the business, and it's going to be from 2 to 6 p.m. California time. And we'll be in Visalia. We're excited about coming this weekend. But I'm excited, and I wish you guys making a very good decision, because the decision you make, either it's going to make you or break you, right? Either it's going to make you or break you. So have fun talking to you. We're excited about Mikey. We're excited about whatever you have to share, the nuggets and your growth. And, we're looking forward to get trained and get blessed by you in the next session. But for the rest of you, check with the person who invited you, see if you qualify to move forward to the very next step. So I wish you making a good decision, guys. With that, I want to give it back to Vincent.
Woo! Everyone, let's give Phil a round of applause.
Yeah.
This is my fault, but I didn't emphasize, how successful and how, impactful Phil is. Phil and Luna, I should ask, just broke Founders Emerald, right? And you guys remember on the slide, Emerald is when you help 3 businesses go platinum, which means each business went 7,500 PV. Okay. And that is no easy task, but Phil is able to do it, and he's on his way to Diamond this year. So I'm excited to be a part of that, right? And then next, I want to bring up, Tech, can you please bring up the function video? In addition to Kumar, in the next few months, everyone, we're also going to have a major function in the East Coast. And you guys are very, it's going to be a very big event, an impactful event. If anyone was at Baltimore FED last year, right? Who was at FED last year? Right, it's going to be a similar experience. But yeah, Kentuck, can you please share that video?
And that in this great country called United States of America, we have the equal right to become unequal because of the free enterprise system. See, you cannot have economic freedom unless you have personal freedom, and you can't have personal freedom unless you have economic freedom. Now, everybody in here that, honest to God, believes the Amway opportunity is their best shot for overcoming their economic problems, on your feet a second. Listen.
Okay, all right. Book that time, guys. Or check out your processor to see how you can attend and qualify for that event. But yeah, I think that's all for today, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for attending and staying. Much appreciated for Mikey as well, right, guys? Send him your appreciation message and what you guys learned today. But we're gonna conclude for today. We have the privilege though to have the next session with Mikey, where he'll be giving us a special training. So that session will be for business partners and qualified individuals only. Okay, so we'll see you guys soon. Have a good rest of your day, guys, and safe trip back home or safe trip to your bedroom. All right, have a good day, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.